technical difficulties. Happy Thursday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live, number 457. It is Thursday, January 15th, 2026. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. My little camera was saying something about the Wi-Fi or whatever, and it wouldn't let me go. And then it was like, are you really recording or live right now? And I'm like, I don't know. So hopefully I am. I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, look away, and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. So hold on. So hopefully, as I said, today is Thursday. So hopefully everybody has had a good week. And so far, tomorrow is Friday. And, oh, there we go with the turn. So hopefully people have plans, like something fun. I think I'm going to take down my Christmas tree if I can. And I wanted to keep it up a little longer, but my wanting to have everything back in its place is fighting me on it. Because you know what? It's so pretty. And I guess I don't decorate for anything else. I decorate for Christmas. All right, so there we go. So it just makes me think that I need to decorate more. But then if you have more stuff, that means you have to dust more. Why do I feel like I'm curvy? There we go. Okay, we're done moving the camera. All right. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. I have an online store that is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. penguinz33@outlook.com is my email address. And then my Facebook page is Stampin' for Joy. And so we have the current catalog right now, which is this one. And that is going to end at the end of April. So there are colors in here that are going to be put on the last chance list because our in colors, they have a shelf life of 2 years. And so the colors that are going to be putting on the last chance list will be Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop. And then also this year we'll receive another pack of 5 in colors that are going to be around for 2 years. So every year, Stampin' Up! Puts 5 on the last chance list, and then they introduce 5 new colors. And this way, Stampin' Up! Has the core colors in the families and the the basics. And then as life changes, and I mean, they're on trend. They're really on trend. And so Stampin' Up! Has the next 5 that are going to be released in May. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because if you like these colors, you need to get the paper, the ink refills. If you don't have the ink pad, get the ink pad. As long as you have that ink refill, your ink pad will last quite longer than you would if you did not have it. So that's my little spiel about that. The Spring Mini Catalog, this is the one that we have that just got released in January 6th, I believe it was. And we have wide variety of just like a plethora of cuteness in this catalog, and anything from stamps to paper to designer series paper, embellishments, stuff for scrapbooking, memory kits, you name it, it's in here. And if you don't have one, just let me know. And the last catalog, the holiday mini catalog that basically just ended at the end of December, that a lot of the products have been put on the last chance list. And the last chance list is a list where Stampin' Up! Is no longer going to restock anything that is getting in low inventory. And so this is their way to, it's kind of like a clearance rack, but it's the last chance list, because then it's while supplies last, and a lot of this product is marked down. So check that out. Then we have some cute things that just came out. Now, I'm only going to show one, and this one here is Adopt a Pet Kit. And it has a dog, a bird, a cat, and I believe it's a guinea pig. And it comes with a dog house, a bird cage, a box, and a crate. And so these are cute little, there's no stamping, it's all paper, but I mean, how fun would it be to put these kits together with your grandkids or with your children, and then they have buildable homes that coordinate with them, plus you can fill out the certificate for adoption. And oh my gosh, talk about how much fun this would be for you putting these together and playing with your kids or your grandkids. I mean, nieces and nephews. If you like to have fun with somebody else's children and not want to give them a real animal, but I mean, how fun was that, right? Okay, that's in the online store. Now, Stampin' Up! Has come out with a virtual card retreat. Now, the retreat is a 2-day retreat. It is from January 22nd and 23rd from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Now, these, once you purchase the kit, you will be given an exclusive access to a Facebook group where once you buy the kit, that's the only way you can get to this Facebook group. Now, if you can't make it any of those times, or, you know, between 2 and 3, both those days, you're picking up your kids, running errands, and then coming home. So if you run into any situation like that, they are going to be recorded, and you can go back and watch this. Now, I suggest watching these demonstrators, or well, actually it's Stampin' Up! Staff, and who could be, you know, they're the ones presenting the kit and the cards. So what I suggest is either have everything cut up and ready to go so that you can put them together, or just watch and then come back and watch the replay. That way you could pause and catch something you might have missed, or slow down or rewind and craft at your own pace. Now, you're going to make 15 exclusive cards, and they're going to be a little bit more than somebody who's just starting out. They're for the casual towards the avid crafter. The avid crafter is somebody who has a lot of product. They are pretty into the techniques, and they're more advanced. And so I don't want to scare you, but that's somebody who's, you know, first day and they've never crafted. Maybe not for you, but somebody who has maybe played with a couple kits and, you know, loves paper crafting. This would be fun, okay? And so you're going to be making 15 exclusive cards, and then there is a stamp set that is only available in this kit. It is the virtual stamp set. And then there's going to be a sneak peek in here. It's going to be a bundle. And so you're going to get 15 kits, a stamp set, and a bundle. And you know what I mean? It's a great value. So check that out. So it is 170023. Now it is $165, and that is the kit. And like I said, it automatically gives you a Facebook access that's exclusive only to the people who purchase this kit. And the thing is that the designer series paper is only one-sided, and it has cutting diagrams on there, like so cool. Stampin' Up! Has really, outdone themselves. Now you're going to get a $16.50 automatic 10% reward in your rewards bank. So you can either apply that to your next order, or you can save those up and purchase that, pricier thing, and then get quite a bit of money off of that. Now, also, that's something that's going on is the bonus days. Now, the bonus days is for every $50 you purchase, you get a coupon sent to your email. Okay. Now, if you spent, say, like this kit, so it's $165, you're going to get one email with 3 codes. Now, you can use those codes and apply them in one order, or you can do multiple orders. It's really up to you. So you're basically double dipping right now if you get this kit. And then you're also going to you're going to you're going to earn those rewards from the 6th of January, which has already started, through February 2nd. And then February 3rd through the end of February, you actually get to use and redeem your coupons. Now, they will come to you, like I said, in an email, and don't lose those emails. And if you don't see them, then check the spam and the junk mail. Hi, Benji. All right. Now, upcoming, the paper pumpkin is going to be, this one's going to be for February. And so you have until January 10th. And that has already, today is the 15th, so never mind. So, yeah, this paper pumpkin's already, you can't register for it anymore because today's the 15th. Like, duh. All right, so then we're going to show you the thing that we're going to be playing with today, and is actually out of the online exclusives. Now, I believe something out of this kit out of this suite is not available right now. However, it is expected to come back, so I'm going to just play with it anyways. This is the January 2026 online exclusives. Now, online exclusives mean only online can you purchase it, and anybody can purchase it. So this is called the Lovely Blossoms Suite Collection, and that number is 167193. Oh, who's giving me hearts? Thank you. I see that. Who's here? And so the suite is built upon the lovely arrangements, stamp set, and dies. And then we have the designer series paper. I love this paper. I love it. We're going to show you in just a moment. Then the lovely stripes embossing folder. We're going to play with that too. And the Moody Palette glossy dots. Can't read today. Words are hard. And then we're going to play with this cloud covered textured ribbon. So basically everything in the suite. And you can purchase these things separately if you want. Now, like I said, I believe the stamp set's not available, but I'm not sure which one. Maybe it's the dies that's not available. I don't know. So there's something in this suite, and it's coming back. I forgot to check when I got home. Hi, Dawn, right? Yes, it is you. Thank you. Hi. So at work today, I had a small pallet fall on my foot. And so when I got home today, I put my feet up and I fell asleep on the couch. So I didn't know what I was going to design. So I figured I'm going to do something very easy. And then the technical difficulties, and then I was just like all befuddled. So, well, hopefully the rest of the night will go great. I'm gonna take my sweatshirt off. Hi, Dawn, how you doing? It's nice to see you. This is actually one of the sets that I am going to be featuring at the event, and I did not talk about that. So the Stampin' event is coming up February 28th, and it's the last Saturday. It's technically the last day in February. So it's a Saturday, and it's going to be at Highland Park, St. Paul. It's in a church, and you get to make 16 cards. And it's really funny because my cat is looking at me as if I'm talking to him, and he's like, moving his head, like trying to understand what I'm trying to say. But I'm not speaking to him. He's like, who are you talking to? Right? Right, Benji? Yeah, he's just sitting there staring at me. So the registration is open. So go ahead, register for the event. You'll be making 16 handmade cards, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So like I said, we are playing with the Lovely Blossoms Sweet Collection, and so it is based upon the Lovely Arrangements. So this is how I'm kind of working with mine. This is I just labeled it January 26 online exclusive, and then I took the folder and I put the little flappy part on the inside, and then I took the flimsy piece off and inked everything up and then put it on here. Now, I just got an idea I saw online. Her name is Lisa Curcio, I believe. And what she did is she took, now this is the thick one, and I'm going to take my silicone mat and I'm going to show you what she did. She took a Sharpie and she just kind of drew an outline, and it doesn't have to be anything special. This is the reason why I stamp. It's because I don't do pretty. I can't even, oops. Hi, Laura. And so what she did is she took the Sharpie and she made an outline of all the stamps. So then that way, this is on the back side. And now you can arrange these stamps the way you want them to go. And I'm running out of space. And I know there's a couple things missing, but after I get done, I will go and put that on. So I saw this tip today, and so I thought I would share it with you, because then once you take your stamp off, you know it's missing. And I thought that was a great idea. I don't know how long it takes that Sharpie to dry, but that's one way to do it. And that way you can keep this. I don't attach mine because I don't want to have this here and this over here. And I don't want to be able, I want to be able to just pull this out, lay this on top, and then know where everything is. And it takes up the least amount of space. And so then what I do is when I get done, I'll put it back in here. And having that there also helps you, you know, I guess, know where everything goes. And then I just put, like I said, the little flappy piece. And so then I stick it like this. And so all I have to do when I get done is just go in, grab the stamp set, and then put it back in. No dealing with the flap. I didn't cut it off because if this retires and I can't sell it anymore, then I sell it, you know, at a discount with my stuff. Now, this for the dies, and I'm going to do this for a little while just because you never know who, I know that some people follow me regularly and they might see this, but then some people just might pop in and say, yeah, I know Stampin' Up! Has new packaging. Oh, I really like how this person's doing it. So what I've done is I have taken, I don't have to take this one out, actually. So what I've done is I have that piece. This is extra. Come on, cloud cover. So I leave this in here. So my little flappy part's facing the forward. I don't care if I see that or not. I could still read through it. What I do is I actually took this piece right here, this white piece, is the piece that came with, and it's all the sticky parts. And trying to get the dies off sometime are really hard. So people are saying, well, if I do that, how do I know where my dies go? Well, I got these pens at Walmart, and they are by Papermate, and it's called Ink Joy gel pens, and these are colors. And so what I have done is I have taken my dies and I have drawn an outline, so then that way I know where they go back, because some of the dies, there are so many of them, say like the bug, the cute as a bug, all those dies, if you cut out a bunch of designer series paper and you try to put them back, you're going to be fussing with that. So having that outline tells me that, hey, I'm missing two. So that is what I am doing, and I can do that in different colors. So I can be coordinated. And then this like is an extra piece, so I'm just going to put that in the front. And I do store it back to back so I can see this. Now, I like to use my dies with other things. So for me, I can flip through and say, oh yeah, that would be cute in my design that I'm going to use for Choose Happy, I guess. And so that way I can use this label for anything that's small in any other stamp set. So I don't necessarily need to have this in here, because then I would have to go flip-flop back and forth. So that will help me that way. Well, hi. Yeah. Did you hear him? Benji's yelling at me. Okay, so then the other parts of the suite are this Simply Stripes embossing folder, and we're going to use that. Well, maybe that'll work better so you can see the design. Now you can have these vertical or horizontal. And then the Moody palette dots. Oh my gosh, I love these. And this ribbon. Oh, wow. This cloud cover ribbon is absolutely awesome. Why are you yelling at me? We'll feed you later. All right. So then we're also going to play with the designer series paper, and I have that. Let's see. You know, I don't think I did a sampler for that. And if I did, I don't know where it went. So we're actually going to be playing with this piece and this piece right here. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Now, yeah, I did a sampler on this because, did I put it back in there? No, maybe. Did I put it in the back of here? Because there is multiple sheets, obviously, but there's only 4 sheets, and as you could see down here, yes, I did, and I don't know where it went. So floral, bug, there it is, lovely blossoms. Normally you get 6 sheets and 2 of each sheet, but you get 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets, and then you get 3 sheets of everything. So you can mass produce and have lots of fun. So I'm going to show you how I came up with the card for that. And so that's not going to be it's not going to have a measurement. So then we have the crumb cake piece, which is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. I have a piece of basic white scrap and a piece of old olive scrap, and I actually cut this off a scrap, so it's a 1/4 inch. So here are my scrap pieces. Then I have another piece of crumb cake, which is 3 3/4 by 5. And then I have a piece of basic white, which is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then don't forget we have that designer series paper that we're going to cut. All right, I'm just going to take a drink here. All right, so Laura, are you going to be able to come to the event on the 28th, or are you going to be out of town for this one? All right, so I am going to let that's done right now. So then we're going to take these pieces here. We're going to put that through the embossing folder. And we're going to die cut. This is a piece of scrap. And so I decided that I'm going to take this and put it on here. You already registered? That's awesome. So I'm going to put this on here, and I'm just going to cut a little piece out. I love the scalloped piece. So that's what that's for. And then we're going to stamp our greeting. I forgot to do a new cover for this, so sorry, it's messy. So we're going to grab the sentiment, just a note. So somebody's going to win this card, and it's going to be a thank you card. And so we're going to do Old Olive cardstock, and then we're going to do Secret C ink. And it's going to say just a note, tap, tap. We don't need to squish. We're not killing a spider. There we go. That is beautiful. So we'll die cut that, and that's ready to go. And then we're going to leave that open for just a moment. And we're going to stamp on this. So we're going to put, oops. I just designed this card just a little bit ago. I just need to make sure I'm doing it the way I want it to. All right, so we're going to take this flower, and we're going to leave it facing up. My Secret C is, as you can tell, is already there. We're going to take cloud cover. Because the ink refill is available, it does not the ink does not work well with the foam pad. And so this is a felt pad that comes in a pack of 5, or you can purchase the assortment pack, and that does include the cloud cover in there. Now I'm going to put this right there, just a little tiny bit, and I am going to just at a little angle put my flower right there. And then we're going to take the, I want to move that again away. We're going to take the old olive ink pad, and we're going to do thank you. See that piece of paper, that designer series paper, is helping me know where my semi-center is, not so tad bit crooked. Let's see if I don't like it. We can flip it over and do it again. Because, you know, Stampin' Up! Has great paper that if you flip it over, you can't see the image on the other side. That doesn't look, I don't like it. It's going to bug me. I'm too anal. Okay, let's try that again. The flower is supposed to be crooked, not the greeting. Glad we didn't wash everything off. Okay, so let's try that flower again. The only thing that the cardstock does not work well with is if you do, say, like Memento, and then you go in and you try to start coloring with blends, or you messed up and you didn't even do the blends. But if you do the blends on the other side, hi, Dawn, welcome back. Then you will see it once you start coloring through the back side. And I've done that before, where you flip it over and you start coloring that design from the back, you know, the boo-boo that you did shows up. So that's the only way Stampin' Up's much better, right? If it's not exactly perfect, toss your head to the side. All right. We are done with our stamping, and so we're going to clean them off. I like to clean my rubber stamps, my photopolymer, I should say, pretty quickly after I use them. Now, this is my Simply Chamois, and my Simply Chamois is cut into 4s just because that way I can use them for events, and when I have stamp camps and I need to have a stamp camp. I want to do one like the first weekend of February, I think. All right, so we're done stamping. So we're going to get rid of the Stampin' Cut and Bust, or the Stampin' Pearson mat, and we're going to bring out the silicone craft sheet, because that way any of the adhesive doesn't stick to the Glass Mat Studio, which is available in the online store. So if you don't have one, you really need to get one, just in my opinion. And the reason why I say that is because I never had one before, and I did not know what I was missing. And when you get the Glass Mat Studio, you would also earn your rewards on that. And if you get it now, you can earn your bonus points, coupons that for every $50 you spend, you get a bonus coupon sent to your email. And so you kind of want that. And so if you purchase your higher end items, now is the time to do it, because you get your rewards. Every order that you place that is over $20, you earn 10%. And so why not get those extra rewards? Now, I don't have any adhesive, so I can actually stick that back in my thing that's ready to go. All right, so that's not done yet, so we're going to put that up into the area that needs to be worked on. And oops, there we go. Let's put that back and flip that upside down. Okay, so we're going to grab the I think I'm going to do the paper trimmer, because now I have a guillotine trimmer, and yes, soon. Okay, it's like last weekend in January, first weekend in February. I haven't looked at the calendar too much to think about it. So yes, I do want to have a stamp camp featuring this spring mini catalog and the online exclusives that were released. So now I have a guillotine cutter, and so that's what Stampin' Up! Used to have a long time ago. And so I am going to cut this designer series paper, and I'm going to score using the other thing. I don't know why I'm trying to pull that out. I'm just, yeah. So we're going to put this piece up into the right there. Let's see. So we're going to cut that sheet off. And so this piece right here has great vignettes. So you could scrapbook with these. You can use these in card making. You can use the back side. I love the back side. So I'm going to take this and cut and save that. And then I have little extra pieces on here, so apparently I'm not cutting all that great. That's okay, because we will fix that. And then we're going to cut this one. All right, so these, I don't need that one. I need that one. And this one we're going to cut down as well. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? I just love the colors. All right. So this one, we are going to take, it's kind of like 3 inches, okay? But I'm going to take 1/8 off of each side. And put that in my trash can. All right, so then this one here, so we're going to go to 3 or 2 3/4, because these two are the same size. So I want a little mat behind it. All right, so this here is 4 inches. Okay, so we're going to move that 1/8 down. There we go. Throw it in the trash. And 3 3/4. All right. Oh, looks a little, let's try a little bit more. Looked a little bit off. There we go. Like I need to take a little bit more off the bottom just to make it a little bit more even. Just like a hair. Let's try that. Whoa. I just broke that. Well then, let's make that a little bit smaller now. What was... There. Guess we're just gonna make... We're going with it now. Okay, so we're gonna line that up right there. Now that I messed that up, for some strange reason, it just there was something caught in the track or something. I don't know. And this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Well, it's close, right? It's close. I don't want to lop off my leaf. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to lop off the leaf a little bit. Get all that little extra bits and pieces. That really made me unhappy doing that. Looks like I need to get some new blades. Maybe take my blade out and flip-flop it. Turn it around. There we go. And a little bit. There. That doesn't look too bad, right? That looks nice. Has a nice, almost even, but not really even. And then we're going to trim this off because there's a little bit of space or from the other pieces on here. So we're just going to move that over just a tad bit. Why am I not cutting? Oh, today's the day. There we go. Did I cut something? Let's try this. Okay, something is really jamming up in here. I don't use this thing all that much. Why are you doing that? I'm grumpy now. Is this going to fit? Yep, it's going to fit. So now I'm happy. And we're just going to go straight. We're just taking a little bit off and a little bit off. There we go. And then now that is going to have a nice mat all the way around it. Okay. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? All right. Now we're going to take the Simply Score tool, because this is how I always score mine, because I don't ever accidentally cut anything. All right. And one thing about the Simply Score, yeah, I'm going to have to do, okay, February's good? All right. They say that you can take kind of like, I'm going to use my people poker. Actually, I'm going to use an old people poker. This is back in the day. And you can always take like a paper towel or a baby wipe actually would be good too. Oh, yeah. That's probably it. There was like a whole bunch of stuff down at the bottom when I did that. So don't forget, you know, clean out your paper, your track. So that's how you do it. Pretty easy. Okay. You're getting all kinds of unexpected tips for tonight. All right, so then now, after we put that through, we are going to grab our bone folder. Just make sure that the corners are flush, and then we'll just give that a nice crease, and then it doesn't flop open like you saw when it was just sitting there. Okay, so then now we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and we're going to grab the cutting plates and the folder for the 3D embossing folder. And so the first thing we'll do is we'll do some die cutting, and that is this one right here. And we're going to do just a note, and we're going to put that kind of like so. And I'm going to take that tape and we're going to run that through. Now it's not straight through, it's at a diagonal. And then, yes, like the first weekend. The first weekend in February is what I'm thinking. It would be a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday thing. And that is all I got. Okay, so this is not as long as I want it, or I want it shorter. And so because this is kind of embossed on the edges, if I stick this here, I can line it up with where I want it to stop, so it's about equidistant, and I can put that tape on here, and then we'll run that through. And so we'll take that long die and we'll make it shorter. I don't want to bump the camera. We'll make that shorter by just doing that. Right, so that is done. Okay, so see how long? So perfect for where I want it to be. And then we're going to die cut this. And I only want let's see here. I'm actually gonna put it right there. And, well, I wonder if I can measure on my Glass Mat Studio. So it's like half. Okay. So I'm just going to take a Sharpie, because then I can line it up on my Glass Mat Studio, and I am just going to put a little dot. So it's going to be somewhat straight, and I'm going to line it up on my white. And we'll see if that works. And if it doesn't, I'll just take some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and just, take that color off. And then again, you want to do it at an angle, because I think it might have moved, but that's okay. You get the gist. I could have put down some tape, but I did not. And there we have scallops. Like, you could have long scallops, you could have short scallops, and we can we can use that other side there. So this goes back in my white. This is my organized white. So if I need something small, it's over here. If I need something longer, it's over here. That's where I get a lot of my, when I do Stampin' blends, the colored markers, and I swatch the colors off, that's what I use. A lot of those. Okay, so now we're going to put the cardstock through the lovely stripes, which is in this suite. And I want my stripes to go sideways. So I'm going to line up my my cardstock up with that line, because this is the top, but I'm lining it up with that black line there. So then that way I know that my stripes will be straight. I love that Stampin' Up! Put that line there, because if I were to just line that, I would be crooked. I'm always crooked. You always want to put the spine towards the roller. Then use your number 4 plate to go on top. And there we go. Isn't that cool? All right. So we'll get rid of that, because I think we're done. Okay. So then we're going to grab the silicone craft sheet, and I am going to, let's see here. I'm going to put adhesive on the back side here so that it stays on the cardstock in that little white area. Okay, so we're going to get that lined up. So, yeah, I think that's about the same distance. Okay, I'm just going to push that there. Now, this is raised up just a tad bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put mini glue dots. So it kind of raises up just a tad bit. So then that way it looks like it's raised and has like a little tiny shadow. All right, grab my people poker off the Take Your Pick tool. We're just going to grab 1, 2, and 3. New, wrong way. All right. So that's going to go on the inside of the card. And I want to include that when I'm putting that in here so it is even. So that there's about the same space from the top and the bottom. And I think that looks good. And there we go. I like how that turned out. I love these colors together. All right, let's work on the front of the card. So we're going to take the ribbon and we're going to put that right here. Oops. All right. These are my ribbon scissors. They are no longer available through Stampin' Up, but I am not getting rid of them. All right, and then I'm going to grab a piece of tape and put that on here. This ribbon is just absolutely stunning. I love it. I'm just going to put that there. Nobody's going to see it. And get it nice and taut. Make sure it stays back there. Okay. And then, normally I don't like using adhesive on the actual embossed image because it can... Because it's been embossed, the fibers of the paper have been manipulated, and so I don't want to kind of make it wonky or bubbly by doing this, but I want to get it on there close to the edge as I can. I kept on putting that over there because I didn't want it to lose, you know, my words, because it's so tiny. All right, so then we're going to put that in here, and equidistant from the sides, and then just lay down. And so I'm going to turn that around and give that a burnish, because this way it's adhering, but I'm not moving the paper by accident. Isn't that cool? All right, then we're going to take this and we're going to grab the Old Olive ink pad. And I should have done this earlier, but I forgot. We're going to grab the blending brush and we're going to take this and just hit the edges just a little bit. Because this is Designer Series paper, and if you happen to have any of those edges left that you can't see until you actually put it on something darker, now you're not going to see them. Oh, I want a little bit more down here because then it's a little bit more even. Okay, I like that. All right, so then close that up. And then we're going to take the adhesive. I'm putting a lot more on this than I would because this has been embossed. I'm going to put this under the ribbon and over to the left and not equidistant from the top and the bottom because I wanna. Right, and then we're gonna take dimensionals and put them on this and grab the people poker. And I am going to put one in the middle, just because it is designer series paper. It's a little bit more flimsy than actual cardstock. It has more give. All right, so stab and grab those backings, and we're going to put that in the center. We're going to frame it. All right. I so love that. All right. Now we're going to grab the ribbon, and we're going to make a bow. I prefer to do my bows like this, you know, wrapped around and then attach with the mini glue dot, just because I have better control of how the ribbon turns out rather than trying to get it to turn out a certain way while attaching to it. Oh. Because I want my bow to be to come down. I don't know. You'll see once I get done with it. Oh, that looks very nice. And you can play with it. You can make it a smaller bow. Perfect. Ah, I love it. Just this ribbon is so pretty. And I generally try to leave it on the, I'll adjust once I'm done with the card. I didn't waste too much, so I like to leave it on the roll, because then that way I try to contain my tails. All right, that is going to look lovely. And then we'll roll this over until we get a mini glue dot. There we go. Squish! Grab that mini glue dot and put that right there. Go back in, put my finger on that last mini glue dot, move it up a little bit, and then that way I know where my next one is in line. Looks like I'm getting low. Might have to get a new one out. All right, so we're gonna trim. Oh, a little bit more. There we go. Much better. Okay, get rid of those little tails, and then this piece we're going to put with adhesive. And that is going to go right up here. Just a tad bit hanging off. Okay. I really like that. And then make a Stella. So the lines of cloud cover, just going to highlight that, and the center. Okay, and then I decided when I made the original card that I couldn't decide which color to use. So thank you, Dawn, very much. I decided we're going to use 3 colors. And I am going to use the People Poker away from the body. Not toward, ooh, where'd it go? There it is. We go down in the corner. Okay. And then we're going to grab a larger green one. We're going to put that right there. And then we're going to do a small cloud cover. And we're going to go right up there. So we're creating a triangle with that. Doo, doo, doo. And my lid for my people coker is right there. Okay. So what do you think? Ooh, did I not put adhesive right there? There we go. Now it ain't going anywhere. Okay. So I knew that I wanted to use one of these pieces from the designer series paper. So I chose that. And then I said, how about use the next one or the one next to it as a frame? Okay. And then I can do a tone on tone. And I said, what color should I use? And then I'm like, I'm going to just take it from the paper. I said, how about crumb cake? And so then I did tone on tone. And then I'm like, okay, well then let's put the ribbon in there somewhere. And let's get that eraser out and see. Somehow there's a little adhesive on there. And so I was, trying to think of something simple because I knew that I wasn't going to, I knew I wanted to do one tonight. But I didn't know, I didn't have a plan. And so I had to come up with it. And then and generally as I go, I always cut up the other pieces. Hi, Barb. Welcome. Almost done. So all I did was look at this paper pack and I saw that and I'm like, okay, that's the thing that I can make with the card. And then I looked at this and I'm like, ooh, that on top of that would look really good. And so that's where I came up with that. And then I was like, okay, what else is in the suite? And I'm like, okay, the lovely stripes. I can do tone on tone. And then I said, I'm not stamping much. How about the front of the card? What can we stamp on? And then after I got this together, I was deciding, okay, there's a lot of crumb cake in here. There's some really pretty blue, which could be Secret Sea. It could be Night of Navy, but to me, it's not as dark because that's Secret Sea. So I'm like, okay, let's use the Secret Sea in the words and then repeat the old olive from the for the background. And that worked out really nice. And then this, I knew I kind of wanted to do the cloud cover for the flower. And I had first done the Secret Sea in the thank you, and then the green in the so very much. And I'm like, for me, I needed the darker color to be at the bottom. So that's how I did that. And then I knew I wanted to put that scallop in there to use that really cool die in with this. And so I'm like, oh, I could put that on there. And then I could put a little piece of the designer series paper to bring, to kind of tie that in. So that's how this card came to be. Yeah, isn't that cool? So aren't you glad you came, Barb? And so hopefully, if you want to go back and watch the replay, So here is, if you want to get a chance to win this card, all you have to do is do a thumbs up or a heart. Then that way, that gets you entered. And then if you leave a comment, that gets your name entered into the drawing. And then if you share this on your timeline, you get entered 2 times. Now, like I said, this is one of the stamps that, thank you. This is the suite that I'm going to be featuring at the Stampin' event. And then for the virtual event, we have not yet set the date for that. We'll also be featuring this suite. So I haven't come up with the idea, but I did come up with the idea for the in-person event. So that is a flyby. You will not see that again. Sorry. That's the tease. So, Tina, you just got here too. Hi. I'm done. So you'll have to come back, Tina, and watch this lovely card and how I brought it to life using the Designer Series paper as my focus. And then this is, again, from the online exclusives. And if you like the idea of using it's called Ink Joy gel pen from Papermate. So use these on your magnets, your magnet sheets, so then that way you know if you've lost a die. And then here is the other trick that I learned today from Lisa Curcio, that this is the front. On the back side, she took a Sharpie. This is the thicker plastic side. And once I get my inks, here I'll take this off and I'll show you how I put them back once I'm done. Now that I saw that trick, I'm going to have to do that with what Lisa showed. I'm going to put that plastic piece back, okay? And so I'm going to take my stamp and I'm just going to lay it down where it goes. I've already cleaned these. I always put my stuff back when I'm done with it because I cannot create in a mess. I might create a mess while I'm creating, and then I will put it back. Let's see, just a note. So then I will put that. Now, this is the back side, and it's going to go just like that. Push down. And so now I can take the Sharpie to the rest of my stamps that I used today. Now, Lisa said, you don't have to be an artist. It just has to show you where your stamps are. So then that way you know if something is missing. And then you don't have to stamp that on the inside if you don't want to. For me, I've seen people where they attach this and they attach this and they're, they rip it open and everything is right here. Well, you know what? I don't have enough space on my table. To me, that's messy. So I will actually just leave this in the case from now on. I'm actually going to go do this. And so all I have to do is go back in, pull it out, and when I'm creating, just leave everything sitting on top. And then that way I won't lose anything. So that is your... Oh, thank you very much for sharing. All right, so that is my tips and tricks. And, you know, it's just getting information from different people and then finding out what works for you. And nothing is right, nothing is wrong. It just works, you know, for your area, what your stamps look like. So for me, I don't keep my stamps. So this is what I have for now. Like I said, I've put on the top January 26 online exclusive. So then that way, if this doesn't make it into the next catalog, then I know what booklet to look into so that I can price it together. So now I'm just going to put this in. And so these are the chipboards that came in, that come in the paper pumpkins. And so I don't want to throw them away. So this is how I do it. I want to get different containers to hold these things, but I keep these are my online exclusives, my ribbon, and then my lovely stripes will go in here as well. And so I can just flip through and say, oh yeah, let me use that pattern, and then I know where it comes from. And then if I need to get dies, see, like this one, I did blue around everybody, and I haven't done these dies yet. Oh, yes, I did. I did them in white. And then I put labels, and then these can come off, and I could put new ones on as they, you know, retire. And then now I need to put my labels back. So I have another one of these containers for the mini catalog. And then once the stamps from the, what do you call it? The annual catalog, once they get retired, then I will have 3 different containers, one for catalog, one for mini, one for online exclusives. And then that way I will keep things organized, and if it hits the list, I take it off right away, and I don't play with them because they're going to retire, and I would rather play with things that people can get, because, you know, once things are sold, I'm not going to sit there and look at things constantly to see if something's sold out before I play with something, because I don't like buying stuff and then having it sell out and then having to check it 15 different times to see, oh, and this morning, you know, I checked it and it was there. And then later on, when I designed the card, you know, for the actual event or whatever, and it's gone, it's like, grr. Well, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Thursday evening. It is Betty Bye time for me, just because I have to go to work tomorrow. So I will be back on Sunday, and you know, I really like how this turned out. So thanks, guys. Have a great, thank you very much, Barb. Have a great rest of your weekend. See you on Sunday, and happy stamping.